Buckle up, friends, and welcome to the Thriving Alcohol-Free Podcast. I'm your host, Deb, otherwise known as MOCKTAILMOM, a retired wine drinker that finally got sick and tired of spinning on life's broken record called Detox to Retox. Let this podcast be an encouragement to you if alcohol is maybe a form of self-care for you, where you find yourself dragging through the day waiting to pour another glass. I am excited to share with you the fun of discovering new things to drink when you aren't drinking and the joy of waking up each day without a hangover. It is an honor to serve as your sober fun guide, so sit back and relax or keep doing whatever it is you're doing. This show is produced for you with love from the great state of Kentucky. Thanks so much for being here and big time cheers. All right. Hey, friends, it's Deb. Welcome back to Thriving Alcohol Free. I am so excited. I'm here today with a Larry, not my husband, Larry Weintraub of Beckett's. If you're not following Drink Beckett's on Instagram, you need to. I absolutely love this brand. I have been drinking Beckett's since early in my alcohol-free journey when I found you guys at Total Wine. And so Larry is the CEO, and I'm so happy you're here. I cannot wait to talk to you and get to know you a little bit.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me on. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Your products are delicious. The non-alcoholic spirits, there's 4 different ones. We'll get into it. And then your cans, which I'm a big fan of cans of deliciousness. Everybody knows that. But I do want to I'll read a tiny bit of your bio just so the audience knows who we're talking to. Okay. Larry Weintraub is an accomplished marketing executive and entrepreneur who was a senior music industry insider that went on to build the first social media marketing agency. How fascinating. Okay. So you have a very fascinating background. You're not from the non-alcoholic space. I want to make that clear.
That's right.
And I do want to get to, I am going to tell everybody, you are a collector of Pez. You live in Los Angeles, 3rd generation Los Angeles native, where you live with your family. You enjoy hiking, attending concerts, cooking, reading, and more. But I love that like your background is you've done like marketing. You've worked with companies like State Farm, Samsung, Frito-Lay. I mean, massive brands. And then in the music industry, you've worked with these incredible artists like Sheryl Crow and Korn and Sting, just to name just a few, I'm sure. So your background is so fascinating. So welcome to the non-alcoholic space. How's it going?
Oh, wow. Well, it's new. Let's put it that way. Yeah. No, it's wonderful. I'm having a blast.
Oh.
When I was asked if I wanted to consider doing it, I'm like, are you sure you want me? And I was told, yeah, we want you. So here I am. I'm 6 months in, so just be transparent. You got me new. I remember you asked me if I'd come on a while ago, and I'm like, give me a few more weeks just to get my feet wet. Yeah.
Yes, maybe I should tell everybody. Okay, so you sent me a direct message on Instagram, just saying like, thank you, because I've tagged you guys in videos or whatever. I mean, I love your products. So you sent me a message like, thank you so much for the support. I'm the CEO of Beckett's. I was like, CEO of Beckett's? You have to come on the podcast. And you're like, oh, wait, hold on. I just started. Like, I don't even have my business cards printed yet. Today would not be a good day to come on. So, yeah. So you got brought into this business.
Yeah. I love that story. Like, I got in here and, the company's been around for about 7-8 years. And it started as a different thing. It started in Canada. They moved to Los Angeles, a myriad of things. And I got recruited to come in about, like I said, 7 months ago now. And the first thing I did as a retired social media marketer was look at, what the community looks like and what people are saying. And everything we weren't posting much, but we hadn't posted actually in a long time. And we just started posting a couple of things. And everything we post, MOCKTAILMOM was like, thumbs up, great work. And I was like, who is this person? I have to get to know her. So it was fun to DM you and then just start a little dialogue. It was really fun.
Yes, yeah. I'm so glad to be connected. And I'm so glad that you're bringing life to Beckett's on social media because more people need to know, everybody needs to know about your products. They're so good. And they're so delicious. Okay, do we want to get into what the products are? Should we tell everybody before we keep going in our conversation? You want to?
Sure. I think it's just going to be that conversation. We're just going to be all over the place. We're just going to roll with it. Welcome
to my world. Okay. Yes. So there's 4 bottles that are available, 4 different. I love that the bottles are a little bit smaller. They're not, what are they? They're 12.7 ounces. They're a nice size.
They're 375 milliliter. So usually you're getting a 750, like a big old bottle, like, of others. But again, a lot of this was started before I got here, but the idea was let's make them smaller because people don't know. Are they going to like it? It's a big investment. A lot of our competitors are making these big bottles and they're $30. So we were trying to do something for 12 or $13 that was smaller. And if you like it, you'll, again, 2 bottles of ours is still a little cheaper than the bigger bottles. And that was intentional too. Again, small trial, get you a trial. Again, these guys started doing it 3 or 4 years ago. So the NA space was still new and people were still like, am I going to like that? Am I not? And it's just worked for us. So we keep doing it. Yeah.
So great. I will say that is, I'm grabbing them behind me. That is actually probably the reason I purchased. I think the first one I bought was the coconut rum. And I was like, well, that's a small bottle. It clicked in my head. I was like, it just felt like so easy, like an easy purchase. Didn't feel like such a big investment, in a non-alcoholic product. There's cinnamon whiskey, which is so good. I say like a Fireball alternative. I wasn't a Fireball drinker personally, and I don't know if it's exact, but I would say like close to that, maybe. I don't know.
Yep,
perhaps.
for sure.
I used this today in a cranberry whiskey. So it's actually one of the recipes in the book, but it has like cranberry juice, orange juice, and then I used the cinnamon whiskey. And it's so good. So delicious.
Good.
Amaretto and the coffee liqueur are the 4 bottles
Right.
of deliciousness. Okay, yes. And then we have cans.
You're hired.
Okay, good. Yes. Okay, great. I could talk about them all day long. I mean, really. And okay, so you guys are available at Total Wine. You're available other retailers, right?
Yeah. Really, Total Wine's our big national presence. It's where we are everywhere in the US. Day one, my job was how do I get more people to carry our products, get more people to know about our products, buy our products. Yeah, that's what I'm here to do, is do that. So I've been on the phone, you'll appreciate this. So my first week on the job, right? I'm on the job and they're like, well, you need to go to Massachusetts because that's our first state where we actually have a distributor and we're going in. And what you do is you do these ride-alongs where you ride along with the sales guys as they go into the stores.
Fun. Okay.
So for my first 3 days, I was just thrown right into the fire. Like I'm going to liquor stores and, grocery stores all over Massachusetts. And first thing I do is I open a bottle, open a can. I say, do you want to sample it? This is our story. Again, trying to tap dancing right there because I'm still new at this. And, selling door to door, in a lot of ways. And it was great. When you do that, people are like, yeah, I like this. I like that. I'll take some of this. I'll take some of that. And basically 6 months later, I'm still doing that. Yeah. And I probably will be for the next 6 years if they keep me around. Yeah.
I'm sure they will. Yes. Okay. So do you enjoy that? Getting like face to face with people, getting their immediate reactions and...
I do. And one of the great things about it is sort of like you're talking about how great the products are. I didn't come from this world. The products were already made. I'm pouring these things and you don't know what the reaction is going to be. Are they going to, ew, yuck, aftertaste, whatever they're going to say. And 98% of the time it was, wow, this is good. Or as I like to say, they always say, this is better than I thought it would be. Or this didn't suck as bad as I thought it would, or something. That was what I was prepared for. And especially when you're going into liquor stores, right? These are, people are buying liquor, and does the liquor store even know, do they carry any non-alcohol, or is that the community around their store that buys this? And like I said, being in Massachusetts, sort of like an area, it felt like a hard drinking area, if you will. It was no offense to that. Just,
yeah.
I walked into a real liquor store and I thought the guy was going to throw me out of the store. And I'm like, I don't know if you know much about the non-alcohol space. And he's like, yeah, it's growing. It's growing here. Really? And it was like, okay, that's how the day started. And it just got better from there. Like, they liked what they tasted. They tried, take some on. They were aware that the non-alcohol side of the business is growing. Alcohol has been a little bit down over the last year or two. So now non-alcohol is on the uptick. So it was good. Yeah. So people like the products and
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. Okay. So is it hard to how does it work? Like, do liquor distributors have to carry the products? Like, how is it for all these little shops to get your products?
Yeah. And again, if you go back to like when they asked me if I wanted to do this, I said, I don't know the beverage space, let alone the alcohol beverage space. But as I've learned actually, and there's a little tie to my old music business, in the music business, you can make a song or an album, but you need somebody in the middle to get it into the store, get it up on Spotify or whatever it is, a distributor.
Yep.
And that's basically the way the beverage world works. You have to give it to a distributor. Now, because we're non-alcohol, technically we can sell direct, whereas you can't sell alcohol direct. There's all kinds of laws go back to the prohibition that, created this environment. But, we're most non-alcohol is going the alcohol route, which is a distributor who probably distributes a tequila or beer or whatever is also carrying non-alcohol versions, sometimes of the same brands that make an alcohol version, sometimes completely non-alcohol like us. And what you also learn is it's not like it's a one stop. Like on the music, I can go to one distributor and then get my music to everywhere in the world. With us, it's state by state. Sometimes it's multiple distributors within a state. If you have a big state like California or New York or Florida, you could have 3 or 4 distributors in the same state.
Wow.
And they have to make an investment in you. If they take your product, they buy your product and then sell it back to the stores. So it's a hard business, right? They don't want to make a mistake. They don't want to take something that's not selling. They don't want to take something that doesn't have marketing support behind it, doesn't have a story. So you've got me coming in. I'm a bit of a storyteller. That's my background, So I've got to say, this is where we started. This is what we're about. This is where we're headed. So yeah, that's what it is. We have to get distributors, and that's what I'm really doing all the time. Some of it is connection, people that, refer me. Some of it just cold calls. I spent a lot of the last few weeks writing cold emails to every grocery chain store in California, just in my backyard here, just to get them to take the product. And it's a very, very slow process. They hear you. Sometimes they respond. Then you got to send them samples. Then that takes a while. Then you have a meeting. You tell them about your programs and your plans. Then they tell you, we'll get back to you. Then you follow up. And then if they take it, then it's still weeks or sometimes months, because a lot of what you see on the store shelves are seasonal. They're timed right. They're buying now for the spring and summer. So I'll get a lot of this. Oh, you're a week too late. I wish you'd called me last week or something like that. So,
oh, wow. Yeah.
Quite a process.
Yeah. So dry January purchases were all made, last summer? All those decisions were made?
A lot of them. Yeah, definitely the programming. So for dry January, like at Total Wine, you're going to find almost all of our products in what they call an end cap. So that is like a side shelf, usually dedicated, things are on sale or things are featured. And all of that is negotiated with, your retailer or your distributor. So Total Wine told us, first thing I did was I'm like, who's our Total Wine contact? Like, what do they know about us? And within a few weeks, I had our first call with Total Wine. They've just been taking our products for 2 or 3 years.
No, and
but they didn't really know our story.
Okay.
No.
So what did you tell them? You're like, okay, so here's the story. So I want to hear the story because I feel like I'm the person who's been at Total Wine buying the products. What do you tell them?
Well, first I say thank you.
Oh,
I just wanted to make sure somebody said thank you because, they're our biggest success story, and they've carried our products. They featured our products. Our products are low price there, sort of that was, we were, got on the shelves again 3 or 4 years ago. We consciously made it, affordable, and they tried us, and here we are, still there, one of their top sellers. And so that's what, it was. So this mutual, I said, thank you. We're here. I want to make sure you have, who I am. You know what we're planning. You know that we haven't even done any real marketing with you. We haven't gotten people in there to help sample the product or do coupons or whatever you guys have available. We want to do it all, and that was really the conversation. And she was really, really appreciative. It was really good. And again, it's sort of kept going ever since. Yeah.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah. And that will just continue to grow and flourish. Yeah. Yeah. Because my one complaint about Total Wine, which I've been open about and vocal about, is that you have to walk all the way to the back of the store for the non-alcoholic options. And I feel like for those of us, especially in the very beginning for me, I am not kidding you. Like I could smell the wine as I was passing it in the closed bottles. It was like it was calling my name. So to get there sometimes can be a challenge for people who are especially early in their alcohol-free journey. But now it's not a big deal. But I'm like, why don't they put that in the front of the store? So maybe that'll change in the future. But obviously as
Well, I was
it continues
reminded
to
the
grow.
name of the store is
I know.
Total Wine.
I know. Yes, it's true. No, you're right. You're
Yeah,
totally right. You're right. So yes,
yeah.
you are absolutely correct. Yes, they are selling
But look,
a lot more liquor than non-alcoholic options.
yeah, but I give them credit. Like they are, it's a huge footprint. Like you go into one of their stores, they're huge stores. They took a chance on us. They have one of the largest selections of non-alcohol you'll find
It's
anywhere.
awesome.
So you got to give them credit. And I
Yeah.
walk into the
Yeah.
stores and I meet the managers. Like I've been to a lot of Total Wine stores, and
Right.
they're all really nice people.
Agreed.
A lot of them haven't even tasted our product because it is centralized. They're located back east, and then in California we have 20. No, I think we have over 40 stores. So a lot of them haven't tried the product, so I give them product. You wouldn't think, oh, they're big. They try everything here. No, I mean, when you have, I don't know what, hundreds of thousands of bottles of stuff,
That's
you
true.
don't. So really good people, been good to
Agree.
us, and we're trying to be good back to them now.
Agree.
Yeah,
No, and you are right. The people who work there, I feel like anytime I have a cart or come in, at least two people ask me, "Is there anything I can help you with? Are you finding what you need?" Like they're fantastic. Yeah,
right.
fantastic. So yes,
Yeah.
I don't want to slam Total Wine, but yeah, the first,
No.
the gauntlet, the walk at the beginning was hard.
Well,
But yeah,
it's interesting. I love that you brought them up, and this is not a Total Wine podcast, but I appreciate them because I learned quickly, take care of the people, take care of you, right? So that's number one, do that. But they are our example when we're telling others to be able to say we're top 5 non-alcohol brand overall in Total Wine. Our cocktails are, the number 2, 3, 5, and 6, on the show.
right.
Like that's the story I could
That's
tell
great.
others, which has been really great. Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
great. Okay, well, I want to do a sampling there one day. I want to be the sample girl and give out samples to everybody during Dry January or something. It'll be so much fun.
I'd love that.
Yes, we can
Put
do
your
an end
book
cap.
up.
Yeah, I was
Put
going
your
to
book
say,
up.
yeah, there you go. We could do like an end cap with the book, and then here you go. This is what you need to make these drinks. Yes.
Well, I'm going to talk to them about that. So we'll look into that.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would be incredible. That would be incredible. Yes, the happiest hour comes to Total Wine. Oh my gosh, all my dreams come true. Okay, so most people, who purchase, are they 100% sober? Do you find? Are they more like a zebra drinker? Which actually, I learned that term from Derek of Mocktail Whiz. A zebra, which I don't know where he heard it from, but that's who I learned it from. A zebra stripe drinker, somebody who maybe has cocktails and mocktails.
Yeah. So that was really interesting too. You think mocktails are really just for people who don't drink, maybe recovering alcoholics, et cetera. And what I mean, I did so much research on this and had so many conversations. So it's really about, I don't know what the number is. It's on the young side, it's something like 60% of people drink and don't drink.
Wow.
Zebra striping is a term that is when you do it at the same occasion. So there's a lot of people that might have a cocktail at home and then one day decide not to drink and have a mocktail or whatever that is. What zebra striping is going into a bar, for example, and having a beer and then having a non-alcohol drink and then going to, a margarita, a real alcohol margarita, and then going back to non-alcohol. And it sounds kind of weird, but I realized I've seen myself do it. Like I'll be especially in the music business, they have these giant parties, right, for the Grammys or these big awards parties, and you have open bar. So you go, and the first thing you do is you start drinking heavily, right, because it's free. Like
Right,
let's have free drink. And after a while, like, oh, I still got to talk to people. I got to get home at some point. So you switch to a seltzer or something like that. So 100% that you've got that going on. I also learned that it's, recovering, and you might be able to test with it. I remember walking into a liquor store in Massachusetts and I said, would you like to try the stuff to the guy that was the manager of the store? And he goes, no. I'm recovering and I don't want anything. It triggers all those.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
And then you've sort of got the people that do both, the people that don't really want anything. And then you've got people who are just drinking less. And that's really the biggest data out there right now is there's a whole generation of people becoming legal age of drinking who are just not drinking. Yeah. They're either not drinking at all or it's like drinking for young people is down like 50%. I mean, it's significant. Yeah. Wow. So once you get all that, again, I came into this and they said, yeah, you want to run a mocktail company? And I'm like, I don't understand mocktails. Like, why would people do that? Like, if you're not getting the alcohol, what's the point of all the stuff? And now I get it. I get
Yeah.
it. I've
Yeah.
seen it firsthand. Yeah.
That's so awesome. Oh, I felt the same way. I mean, I remember actually, it was at Total Wine, buying my first bottle of non-alcoholic wine and thinking like, what is the point of this? Like, but I was like, I wanted to try to stop drinking as much. So it was like, okay, I'm going to try. But yeah, it was like, I would have thought the same thing about mocktails back in the day. Like, what is the point? But it helps so many people in so many ways.
Yeah.
So many people.
And it's very big. It's a big social thing too. Like I've gone out to dinner with people who really lean into, they don't even know what I do. And they lean into the mocktail, like mocktail menus. And at least in Los Angeles, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing them, saw them in Massachusetts when I was there. I saw them in Vegas when I was there.
Okay.
It's getting a good presence on menus now where people are getting very creative when non-alcohol drinks. They're not cheap either. They could be $15 drinks, but they're really expressions of art almost. It's really nice.
Yeah. They've come we're so far beyond a Shirley Temple at this point, but that's what a lot of people think still. But yeah, I'm glad to hear that they're coming on more menus, and especially like Los Angeles and stuff. I'm in Kentucky, and a lot of people I talk to, like middle of the country, it's like it takes a little bit longer to get it here, but some restaurants, there's lots of options here. And then other ones, it's like totally non-existent. So, but we're slowly changing the tide. So turning the tide, I should say.
You're leading the way. You got recipes. It's like, here's 50 things you could do. I mean, more than 50 things, but yeah.
Yeah. Just like, I just want people to know, like, there's good things to drink still, the fun's not over. So, okay. So I know like supply chain stuff is a challenge, probably. I think you mentioned that to me once when we were chatting. Is there any like behind the scenes that you want to share of like what people have no idea that you're going through as you're like trying to get products to the store shelves?
Yeah, it's really fascinating. I was giving you some examples earlier about distribution, and just so if you walk into a Total Wine or anywhere, like any supermarket, any Walmart, whatever it is, and you look at something on the shelf, like you have no idea what it took for that to get there. And I'm not saying I ever thought it was going to be easy, but you have product origination, just, on the drink side, they call it innovation when you create a new product, the new flavor, whatever that is. So that takes sometimes 100 rounds of, especially with us, because our products are intentionally low calorie, right? Our ready to drink cocktails are 35 calories. Our bottles, are 5 calories per serving. So if you want to keep the calorie count down, it's really a lot of calories is in sugar. So then you're navigating, how do we take out some sugar and use sugar substitutes? But a lot of sugar substitutes rub people the wrong way. They have aftertaste. They're not good. So you could just imagine, and trying to mimic, an alcohol sort of burn and a flavor. Anyway, that's just the start, right? That's just the start.
That's just the innovation.
And then your bottles or your cans or the packaging and, all the legal rules you have to follow to make sure your package is right and everything on that. And then once you make it, there's a process. You got to get in line if you don't own your own manufacturing plant, which 90% of people that make beverages, farm that out to a manufacturing plant, unless you're, gigantic beer company or something like that, you're probably using, a shared space. So you got to get in line.
Wow.
And then you get it and then you make it and then it gets put on these giant pallets and it gets trucked across the country. And there's 10 things that go wrong in that process. So anyway, I'm sorry, this could be boring to some, but
I think it's fascinating because I'm like, okay, how did this get here? How did this deliciousness get here? Because, it's magic in a bottle to me, but yeah.
Yeah. And if you look at that, like, why that's really expensive. Why does that cost so much? I can tell you why that costs so much. I mean, it gets just every piece of the supply chain adds, complexity, and cost. And we're all feeling the pinch right now, right? Everything is more expensive than it used to be. It's crazy. And I get it, the labor, gas prices, whatever it is that goes into that. It's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just to get the products across the country. I mean, just to bottle them and get them across the country. So expensive. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you start with everything goes wrong and your just head explodes. Just like, oh, how come? Can I please catch a break? And then after like a couple months of doing it, you're like, yeah, of course that broke. Yeah, of
It's
course
just like
that
a
did.
normal
Yeah.
day. It's a
Yeah.
normal day. Of course, all the pallets
Exactly.
came off. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
This is just, you're just like expecting like, so when things go well, it's like even better,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's the exception. Okay. So what are you super excited about for 2025 with Beckett's?
Yeah, well, I'm so excited. So dry January obviously is just around the corner, and that's our biggest month. So the fact that we will have product on the shelves and it'll be featured, and we're doing sampling and tasting and
Great.
as many places as I can do. So that's good. Like a lot of what we're doing is again building the story. So the Total Wine story helped me get into some other places. The dry January will be a story like we'll have pictures and we'll have videos and we'll have sales results and all these things that we'll tell going forward. So that's just around the corner. So right now, everything in prep is, and it's hard to do, right? You're prepping for dry January during Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's.
Yeah.
Retailers don't really want to talk about January right now. January actually is not great for a lot of retailers. It's good for us in non-alcohol, but everybody gives up alcohol. So they're selling like crazy right now for the holidays. And you're racing to print up recipe books and table settings and things like that for those tastings. So anyway, that's very exciting. That's January.
That's awesome.
We're in the process right now making some new products that hopefully will be available for the spring and summer.
Great.
There's more throughout the year, but I just tasted some new stuff that I'm very happy with. So that will be coming soon. I promised you get to taste it as soon as.
Can't wait. I'm like, okay, we'll stop recording. I want to hear all about it. No. That's so exciting. It's so fun. I mean, you have just come, I feel so fortunate to like be in this space that is just booming and there's excitement. You just feel the energy and everything. So many other industries right now are going the other direction. Like you said, like alcohol sales are down. I mean, there's just so fun to be a part of this and to have wonderful things to drink. It makes all the difference for so many of us. I mean, so many of us. So I'm so happy that you joined Beckett's, that they got you. They're so lucky.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
I feel lucky right now.
Beckett's won the lottery with Larry. Yes. I'm so happy. Okay. I do want everybody to know, and this episode actually will come out in January. So it'll be dry January when you all hear this. Beckett's you guys have been so generous. You're going to be a sponsor for the Mocktail Summit, which is my summit that happens during National Mocktail Week. This year it's January 14th, 15th, and 16th, all virtual. So you can join. Anybody who has an all access or a VIP pass is going to be eligible. You guys are giving away 10 boxes of your Taste of Everything, which I received one of those. I've bought a lot of product too, but I did receive one from you guys, and it's filled with one of everything that you guys make. So it won't have the new stuff coming in the spring, but it'll have everything available in January. And it's like a box it's a treasure. A little treasure is coming your way. So 10 people from the Mocktail Summit are going to win the Taste of Everything from Beckett. So thank you for doing that. That's so nice of you.
Of course. Yeah. Thank you for including us.
Yeah. I'm so happy that you guys are a part of it. So anything you want to share about what you love before we go about the non-alcoholic space, this fun place that you've joined, the playground of non-alcoholic industry?
Yeah, and I think I've heard so many of your podcasts, and I know this comes up a lot, and the community. That's a simple word, is community. And I really like reaching out to you. You were the first person I reached out to, and you were just so sweet right off the bat. And then Derek, and then all these other people.
Yeah. Chelsea,
and thanks to you. Yeah, yep. Chelsea. And now thanks to you, other people are contacting us and say, I saw you do this, and can you do that? And I'm so happy. Like we're still pretty unknown, and I'm so grateful to everybody that's embraced us and wanted to try our stuff and want to talk about it and wanted to talk to me about it. So it's wonderful. Yes. So that's I'm not saying I'm surprised by it so much as I'm just so grateful for it. Yeah. I mean, you're all wonderful people. Like I think you all have shared stories. I shared trials and adventures and all those things like that. And sometimes, it's intimidating to walk into a community. Like when I start to look at mocktail influencers, for example, there are a few of you and you have tens of thousands of people that follow you, or hundreds of thousands. And I'm like, wow, they're never going to talk to me. And everyone has. And it's
we're all
really
like,
been wonderful.
Yes. Yeah. And it's just going to keep growing and growing. I mean, it's just, I just feel like it's just the trajectory is just up for Beckett's. So it's really, really exciting. I'm so happy. Really, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I'm so happy that you joined Beckett's. And I love your products. I'm so happy to have you on the podcast and to hear a little bit about the backstory and, running things and the challenges. It's not easy.
Thank you for waiting for me, for waiting a little bit longer.
Yes. It was so worth it. Okay. Thank you, Larry. Everybody follow Drink Beckett's on Instagram if you're not already. And if you have a Total Wine near you, or if you're, shopping for non-alcoholic options locally, ask your liquor store to bring in Beckett's. Yeah.
And drinkbecketts.com.
Yeah. And online, right? Drinkbecketts.com. Okay, perfect. So they can order directly from you. Okay. Thank you. Big time cheers to you for tuning in to the Thriving Alcohol-Free podcast. I hope you will take something from today's episode and make one small change that will help you to thrive and have fun in life without alcohol. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post about it on social, send up a flare, or leave a rating and a review. I am cheering for you as you discover the world of non-alcoholic drinks and as you journey towards authentic freedom. See you in the next episode.